This is Creso, and I'm back for part 26 of the Human Journal. This journal I'm going to discuss about Salvia, and I want to talk about some other stuff along with DMT and, some other stuff that I have been feeling recently. But Salvia, it's, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but it's another plant that contains DMT. Something that I learned recently on YouTube, and I watched a couple of clips, and it impacted me. Listen to these clips because it impacted me because of my experience with DMT, and I was just like, it just really. What these people really talk about their experience, about how they see consciousness and different beings, different dimensional beings, and it's like there's so many like layers within consciousness. It's just that it's just amazing, and I just felt like I could relate to this stuff. And I really appreciate these people expressing their testimony about their experience. Salvia is just another plant I'm learning. I will do more research, but so far I'm excited about it. It's another plant that contains DMT. And for those that's listening and you don't know what I'm talking about, these plants contain DMT. It's the same chemical that your brain produces DMT every single day. So when you go to sleep, and let's say around 3 to 5 in the morning, when you produce this dream state, that's basically you're having your DMT experience. But these plants, there's so many different plants around the world that's been around for a very long time. They contain DMT. I personally feel that these plants, it's like, I want to say it's a boost, but it's like an extension. I guess I could call it, it's like an extension of a different level of DMT experience. I mean, you don't have to take these plants in order to experience, but as far as from my own experience, that these plants, they do provide, or it's like another gateway to other dimensions. But anyway, so back to Salvia. It's really interesting. I'm leaning towards, how do I put it? I'm looking forward to taking it, but I'm gonna do some more research on it. I feel excited about it because again, it really made me think about my experience channeling different beings. And one of the people, one of the clips I was watching, it was talking about how the beings that communicated to them, to one of the people I was listening to this clip, it's like your human ego is like, it's really put on the side. It's like this one person was admitted that it was very defensive. It was like trying to hold up its human ego, and it's like, you just gotta like really let go, because it's like there's so much more to life, and it's just amazing. I look at all this and I hear what some of these people are saying, and I had to really step outside and look at life, this normal life that a lot of us describe as, right? Every day you go to work, you pay your bills, right? You watch the news, and you sit down and worry about like stuff, whatever, in your life, right? Whether it's your health, people in your life, sit there and where I'm like looking at all this stuff, I'm like, wow. And the human level, I've created a clip about the human level of consciousness. But I gotta tell you, I'm gonna add a little bit more from that chapter, okay, to this. But it's very, when you at this level, when you think solely on this level, which is the human level, I can call it the human level of consciousness, but when you think about those things and you attach yourself to fear and you don't allow yourself to open up, and all those things by choice, you have a very, and I'm going to tell you bluntly to anybody that's listening to this, you have a very limited view. That's why I view a lot of people, and I'm not saying everybody, but I view a lot of people, it's like they bang themselves, it's kind of like you're walking right through a brick wall all the time. You don't open yourself up and you remain ignorant, right? And you're so egotistic, it's just like, put all those things in experience. That's a world that you created. But you see, when you open up, okay, when you open up within many layers within consciousness, life is such a broad. It's like there's so much more to life. And what these people is explaining about their own experience with this plant, Salvia, it's like it showed you. It's a guide. It's showing you so many levels within life. And it's like, man, one of those people is hitting home about how different ideas that we talk, different ideas a lot of people hold up between politics, religion, all these things of different point of views, and these things, and also racist. All those things that suggest division is like, those are very limited views. A lot of people hold up to that. Seriously, politics, religion, you're racist towards somebody, but what I got from one of those clips is that each person, okay, everybody is a cell, okay? You are a cell of a larger body. It's like nobody's really over anybody or no one's below anybody. It's just that a lot of us, we align ourselves at a certain level for the time being. So you could decide to be very limited, okay, for an experience sake, or you could align yourself to be very open-minded to a lot of things about what life really is. And when you do that, okay, you have a different perspective. A lot of stuff around the world won't fade you. You will have a different approach about life. You understand? And I was just driving early, and I'm like looking around, looking at the cars, looking at just people going about their business, just so many different things. And I was laughing out loud. I'm like, I have awareness. I do have a lot more awareness. It seems like I'm gaining more and more insight because it never ends. And I'm very aware that there's just so many people that they make problems so big. It doesn't matter what you go through. It could be health-wise, it could be financial, okay? It could be somebody that you know, because whatever it is, okay? And then we attach to ideas that don't really do anything for you. I mean, not in the long run. It doesn't. And so many people, we hold up to so many of these ideas. It's so limited. But I understand that all these things is just an experience. I always emphasize with that. But I can't help but laugh about all this. Because all this stuff that we created, it's like a damn theater show. It's like you created a stage of so much stuff. A lot of people, we create limitations with money. We have ideas that so many people, not everybody, but so many people create limitations of stuff. Like We create this idea that the world is going to end. Global warming, we create that. We got that. We got so much fear-based ideas, so much stuff. And I'm like, man, it's like the human ego may seem big, but when you align yourself spiritually, the human ego is just a puny dot. It is a layer of consciousness, but it's a puny dot. You understand? It is. It really is. You think everything that goes around your life is bigger than you? You think that, oh my God, and you hold yourself up, you identify yourself with such things, like you call yourself, you create a story that, let's say, for example, I'm a black person, whatever, or I'm Asian, and my life is hard, and right? And I'm like, you think that you're just a black person, that's it? Or you think you're an Asian person? Or you think you're just a white person, right? You think that's all it is to you? I'm like, that's nothing. You're much more than that. You're connected to you're connected to layers and endless layers of stuff that you wouldn't even, you see, and that one level, on the human level, it can't comprehend the vast part of life, the vastness of life. I'm going to create, on my next chapter, I'm going to talk about, I'm going to give you a tour about the vastness of life. So I don't want to go too far. But I want to say in this chapter, it's like, I mean, you look around and you think that that's all you see to life, right? I mean, even if you look at the stars, you think that's all you see is the stars, and all you look around, the trees and all that. I mean, it is life. You know, it is life. There's different layers of life. But like I say, when you open yourself up and you decide to not be ignorant and you decide to drop your fears and put your human ego aside, when you open up, like I said earlier, your perspective on life is going to be very different. Your attitude is going to be very different. Let's just put it this way. For those that watch the movie Matrix, you will honestly unplug yourself from this three-dimensional world. But I want to say this. I just said a three-dimensional world. You know, within a three-dimensional world, there's other dimensions around it. It's just that, and it's hard to describe this on an audio clip. You see, what you're aware of, you see, each person selected, see, you, in spirit, you select what you want to aware. So if you want to, let me just go back. So if you want to if you want to be aware of only the human level, yes, you're going to be aware on three-dimensional things. Yeah. But you could align yourself with other dimensions. You can. There's some people that observe other dimensions. Sometimes they don't have any words to describe it, but that's okay. There's a lot of people that's taking DMT. If they can't describe it in words, they use their artwork. A lot of people see things because they allow it. They open themselves up. They understand. A lot of people that taken DMT, for example, even people that didn't take DMT from these plants, whatever goes on in their life, they have a phenomenal dream or whatever it is. A lot of people from within, they decide to be open. You understand? It's a decision maker. So yeah, a lot of people, they witness stuff, they've seen stuff, amazing things. They get interacted with beings and from other dimensions. I mean, you think that for those that seen UFOs, you think that The only way you see ETs is off of a spacecraft? Not really. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm telling you this because, you see, even though I'm in a human body, you see, there are levels of consciousness. You see, I do have an ET consciousness within me. Even though I'm experienced living as a human, okay, I'm gonna express it as from my own experience, okay? You see, even though you're observing this 3D life, okay, this three-dimensional life, okay, there's other dimensions, there's other worlds within this world, okay? Not so much out in the cosmos, okay? Everything is within this realm. It's all about your awareness level or your awareness state. There's other beings that crisscross from you all the time. Some people call it ghosts or spirits. There's so many layers of life. When you walk across your room, when you walk across the street, you're walking through endless amounts of dimensions that you, because at a certain moment or at a particular time period, you're only observing one level of consciousness. You are observing the human level of consciousness. But when you open up, okay, you will observe other dimensions. And that's why I was saying that the DMT all for these plants is just a connection. It's a guide. It shows you things. Yes, there's things in the cosmos, yes. But you see, it's not just you taking a spacecraft going somewhere else. No. There's a lot of dimensions even within this 3D dimension itself. I would love to have an illustration in this clip, but I don't. But at some point, I'm going to do these things, straight illustrations, the best I can. I can only describe these things by words, okay? Yeah, so a lot of people, you see, that's why I was like laughing out, I was just laughing out loud to myself driving. It was like a lot of people think that these problems, they focus on things and they think that that's all there is to life. I'm like, wow, man, it's just amazing. I'm aware about different things. I am. People talk about whatever, politics or the world economic situation. I'm like, man, I'll tell you, but it's like, you have to understand where I'm coming from. You see, I open myself up to different parts of life. That's why I can't help but laugh about the structured life that we put together. We all put it together. I can't help but laugh about the so-called world problems. There's people live in a war-torn land, and you think that, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And I'm like, what if I told you that you created that war-torn land? That land's all torn up? You created that, but your human ego, because a lot of people stand at one particular level for the moment, you will be offended. Oh, what do you mean? This so-and-so dictator, he made our land like a mess. But then if I tell you this, that no, you created that. In spirit, you set all that up for yourself in order to align yourself with other things. You're just moving things along. It's like moving blocks ahead. You move one block and you pushing one block into the other location. It's like you playing chess. So if you live in a war-torn country, it's like you playing chess. You're moving one piece into the other piece. You know exactly what you're doing. Everything that goes in your life, and you feel like everything is chaotic and all that, you created all that stuff. And then you think that there's something outside of you dictating your whole life, your whole existence. And that's the game that you play, because you selectively choose to be at that one particular level, which is the human consciousness. But I tell you this, you could glide out of that dimension or that level and open yourself to other levels. But again, everybody is a decision maker, you know. But again, I'm just laughing. I was like, listen to these people taking their experience of Salvia. I was just like, I'm like, wow, man. I'm happy for them, and I'm just thinking about my own experience. It's just wow. It's just life on Earth. Life on Earth is like a toy set. It is. All the stuff. It's like a damn toy set. It is. I'm just laughing. I'm pumped up. Yeah, it is. We create our own theater. Every one of you are the character in that stage. You're the director, you're the producer, and you're the audience. A lot of people, like a lot of, and I want to move along too about my own stuff, how I've been feeling lately, especially in regards to DMT. I had to like push myself away from some certain people in my life. Certain people in my life, they decide to be afraid. They are concerned about my taking of DMT. And, they decide to have fear in their life. So they try to put that on me. And I'm like, I look at that and I'm like, I just have to basically shift. I have to move away. I gotta move on. So I had to push this person away. Or I tell some people I have to shift that person into a different dimension. A lot of people that hears me and maybe that listen to my clips or this particular clip today saying, what is he talking about? Well, when I mean shift, meaning I'm moving forward with my life. I'm moving forward. The person that don't understand and has a very negative view about DMT or ayahuasca, I wish that person well. Everybody's capable of opening up. Okay, it doesn't matter what story you tell, or no matter how, whatever. If somebody wants to be ignorant, let's say, for example, what I'm doing, if you want to remain ignorant, regardless of your facts, about how ayahuasca is not good, whatever the case is, whatever. If you want to remain ignorant, go ahead. And, it's a decision making that we all do. Yeah, I have to shift. I have to really, because the thing is, ultimately, what's important is my happiness. I'll tell this to anybody, if somebody is lowering your vibe, and I'm not going to say that I don't want to place myself as a victim, okay? No, nobody else. We have the power, okay? We have power to basically change things in our life. So if you don't want to, let's say, associate yourself with somebody, that's okay. Wish the person well and move on. I'll tell somebody this too. I would suggest not to feel bitter. Don't do that. I feel, and this is something at times I tell myself too now. Okay, when you decide to be bitter, you're giving that person power. Oh, okay. Whether it's the person or the paradigm or an idea. If you're angry because of a particular idea, right? You're giving that idea power. And I'll tell somebody, no, don't feel bitter. Just experience joy, happiness, bliss, all that. I know that there's some people who's trying to reach out to me, and there's some people I'd rather not associate with. But, I wish anybody well. I choose whoever I want to associate with. It's just my decision. The thing is that I want to align myself. I want to feel good. I want to align myself with certain people that I feel comfortable with. It's about me. I feel good. And I'll tell it to anybody. Yeah, suddenly you have some people that suddenly they want to get to know you suddenly. Suddenly for people there's some people that just maybe known you for like a long time ago, whatever. And now suddenly out of the blue, boom, hey, I want to get to know you, whatever. I'm like, I mean, I'll tell it to anybody, you decide what you want to do. Like me. I decide to not associate myself with certain people. I decide who I associate myself with, you know? It's a decision making. But, I mean, it's a lot of guts for me to do this clip. You know, all these clips I've been creating now, and now, you know, I know, I mean, there's some people will try to, pass my clips to other clips that people that haven't seen me for years. I thought about that, and people haven't seen me in a while, and they'll think whatever, like, oh my gosh, what the heck? I didn't think of him that way. I didn't know he was like that or whatever. And the thing is that, and this is I'm expressing how I feel because this is a journal for myself and for everybody that want to be inspired. But see, those people, they never knew me. They don't know me. They don't know who I am. Doesn't matter who they are. But those people, they think of me one way. Oh, I didn't know he was like that. Oh my gosh, he probably lost his mind or whatever. And the thing is that I would, and whatever case is, the thing is, I can't sit there and worry what people that's listening to my clips that haven't seen me in a long time or whatever. I can't sit there and worry about that stuff. I just cannot give a damn. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, But yeah, there's going to, sometimes people are going to only think of you one way, One way. That's it. And it's like I say, you gotta go about how you feel, everyone. Okay, whether when I'm sharing to you, whether if you could relate to me in some degree, you gotta go with your heart. What do you want to do? Okay. Whatever decision you make, whatever thing that you want to do in life, whoever you want to associate yourself with, or people you feel like you got to move on. Okay. All right. You got to go with your heart. As far as moving on, like I said, wish them well. That's it. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, yeah, it takes a lot of guts to do these clips. I got shucks. I got close to, I'm kind of going on my 80, I'm going to be up to 80 clips. 80 clips. 80. Okay? Less than a year. Okay? And I got a lot to share. So for those that maybe haven't seen me in a long, long time and they're shocked to hear all my clips, hey, if they're inspired, great. If not, okay. Hey, doesn't take anything away from me, But the people I have to let go, let them go and wish them well. I'm, like I said, it's just something I just need to express, Some people, if you're taking ayahuasca, some people are not going to understand off the bat because they're observing a level of fear because they're going to hear, you see, the thing is whether they'll hear what the media will say or they'll hear what the government say, the reason why the government will tell people, for example, the government will play the game that they control people, but actuality, the government doesn't control anybody, but, all the stuff is a game. And the reason is that, you see, we allow it. We allow this game that government thinks that they can control us because it's a game when, I call it, when you discover who you are, who you really, really are. And I'm not talking about being human, not your human form. When you discover who you really are, you're going to let go of these ideas that you created. So, government plays its role. It does play its role, but it does not have the power to control people. But anyway, people will, they will go by certain ideas that about ayahuasca, how ayahuasca is not good and all that, and it's dangerous and whatever. I'll say this to anybody. I tell people, do your research. Okay? Empower yourself. Whatever decision you make, you have to just understand is that it's your choice. Okay? If you want to be afraid, be afraid. That's your power to do that too. You want to you want to acknowledge that you're fearless, then you're fearless. Okay? Yeah, I'm not afraid to express about my DMT experience online. I'm not. I'm not here to, like a lot of stuff I talk about government and law enforcement. Some people think that I'm challenging these ideas, and I'm like, well, I'm challenging these ideas. I'm like, why would I need to challenge these ideas that I myself, in spirit, along with everybody else, I created this stuff. I'm only telling anybody that's open, that's at a point, okay, that's at a point to go to the next level, that you could basically remove these ideas, law enforcement and government, or whatever, this idea of fear and control. You could remove that, shift it somewhere else, So I don't really need to challenge anything. I don't need to prove anything to nothing. I don't, I'm not, if I do battle with something, it's my choice, but I kind of got to a point in my life that, instead of battling something, I could just create. I could create. I could create something different. Turn an idea of fear into something different because I could do that. The same goes for everybody else. But if I do battle something, okay, it's my choice. I'm consciousness, like you. You're conscious. I can do whatever I want. Literally, okay? And I know to the human level, that's scary. Oh my gosh, you can do anything you want? And, but yeah, we could do anything what we want. So many, all of us, we all created this structural life. We create limits. So if we create limits, you can create things that represent limitless. So yeah, you could do all that, everyone. But that's why I'm doing my best to tell everybody that even though you in a human body, that doesn't mean that you're not of a human. You're not of a human, okay? Even though I talk about my background, okay, the reason why I talk about me is because I'm only expressing about my experience and what's been reconnected to myself, okay? I'm not, you see, even though even though I say I'm crystal, but I'm more than crystal. I'm consciousness, okay? I know I live many different lives. Like there's not even a number to begin with, okay? So, but I do talk about it. I talk about the character crystal, But a lot of people, they're not just human. A lot of you live different lives, many lives, from human to whatever form whatever, But, a lot, it's just that the game is that the game is, for this level, is that you're going to identify yourself only human, and you're going to play the game to only think in a human level, and that's it. So you're going to think all this stuff around life is just that's the way it is, and that a lot of people are scared about hurricanes and tornadoes, and you play the game about Mother Nature. Oh my God, Mother Nature, have mercy on us. The hurricane just came in and swapped. And if I tell you, okay, that you created the hurricane, okay, you created the tornado, that basically blown your house to bits, okay, and took yourself out of that human experience and then you into another life experience. I tell that to somebody that's just observing the human level only, they're going to say, what the heck you talking about? You're going to tell me I have something to do with the tornado and the earthquake and all the chaos stuff? Yep, you do. Yeah. So yeah, only somebody that will only observe in the human level, that will frighten that person. Yes. But beneath the human level, okay, beneath the human level, they understand what I'm talking about. They do. It doesn't make no sense. I know a lot of stuff I talk about make no sense, because if you find yourself that you say everything I'm saying out of my clip, that don't make no sense, is because, again, you are only observing the human level. That's it. By choice now, okay? I want to thank, again, the people expressing themselves about Salvia. I will look into this more. I am definitely looking forward to taking it, but I love hearing these stories from these people. And, yeah, I know a lot of people don't want to talk about their experience online, but that's okay. But those that do share and have the courage or, whatever, it's a decision making, thank you for sharing. Uh, I'm just blown away. There's so many levels within consciousness. I love the idea of this and that's why I'm going to do my chapter 27 about the vastness of life. I'm going to give you a tour. My next chapter, I'm going to describe the best I can about the vastness of life. I'm going to do my best to describe to you what it is and all of that. I'm going to do my best on that because I feel good about it. So, but in this chapter, I want to talk about Salvia, what I've heard, and I'm going to look into it more. All I know is a plant. There's people smoke these plants. I'm not a fan of smoking. Normally, with my experience, I extract it. I boil it. I extract it, the properties or the DMT out of the plants, whatever, and I drink it like tea. So I kind of call it a brew. So whatever. But yeah, I'm not a fan of smoking anyway. But anyway, these plants been around. There's a lot of plants around the world, and they've been around for centuries. It's there for a reason. Okay, it's not some coincidence, something that just came out of nowhere. Oh my God, it's just grown out of nowhere. Like what it is? And yeah, I mean, you are connected to that. Let me just explain this again. These plants that contain DMT, okay, I know a lot of us at a certain level, we will look at things through scientific data that these things are grown out of nowhere and it's a coincidence or whatever, right? And there's no connection between you and the plant, for example, right? But there is, okay? We put it there, okay? Spiritually, because spiritually, in life, spiritual is the dominant, okay, of everything. So in spirit, yeah, we put these plants there for a reason. That reason is a guide, is a tool to help you, okay, to help you about other parts of life. So no, it's not something like something's grown out of nowhere and you don't know what it is and you don't know where it comes from. No, you all put that there. Cannabis, all that stuff. All right? It's a tool, it's a guide. Use the tools properly, okay? I did a clip on ayahuasca. It's called The Yellow Brick Road of Ayahuasca. But again, this journal, chapter 26, I want to talk about Salvia. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing the name right, the word, but whatever. I'm excited to hear this, and I'm looking forward into trying it, hearing more clips about it. And again, everyone, whatever you do in your life, make sure you're doing it because you want to do it, regardless what it is. If you don't feel good about something in your heart, then don't take it or don't do whatever. I'm ranging on everything in general, okay? It's not about the plants. It's whatever you do in your life. Go with your heart, okay? Not your head. Go with your heart. You feel good in the heart to do it, do it. If you don't do it, okay? So you are power. You're in control of your own destiny. There's no death. You will not die. That's a big stigma about humanity, this idea of death. But that's part of the human level. You think that if you die, that's it. That's the end of you. That whole thing is a game. So no one has any control over you. If you play the game, someone has control over you. Well, ultimately, you are the one that's in actual control because you are allowing certain ideas to have control over you. Doesn't matter what you're going through. Okay, your own ego is going to try to challenge that. But you have to step outside of that and really go deep from within to understand what I'm talking about. Okay? So, yep. That's it for this chapter, everyone. I will be back for chapter 27. Take care.